Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here on Apex Racing TV. We are live from Autodromo Jose Carlos Paque, or also known as Interlagos. I am Austin. I'm joined by Avery McDonald with Mark Tranter in the production booth. Avery, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm absolutely fantabulous, Austin. We're here at one of my favorite tracks of all time, with also one of my favorite iRacing series. I mean, my favorite track, my favorite series, Apex Racing TV. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
I would say the track choice can get a little bit better, but I'm very biased on that situation. But Interlagos is definitely a fan favorite track for this car, especially this season. Season 3 is the most stacked season I've seen just by track choice. Like, I can't wait for the next 13 weeks in this season. It's going to be a wall to wall wild ride. And at today right now with the track, it's something a little bit different. The track is crazy hot and the tires are struggling right now. And so it should provide for a very close and unpredictable race. But something that we really can't predict is who's sitting on provisional pole right now. It's Tim Delisle.
Yeah, Tim missed out on a couple races last season, setting out, but he's back on the track here, and no surprise, he's up up on top, and there's teammates in second and third. So with the Positive Sim Racing group, so it's not a surprise to see them in the top three. But watch out for these guys at this track. Races here before have been great.
Yeah, we've raced here before, but still, it's always fun coming back to Interlagos. And Tim Delisle, he was already 2/10 faster than Longa. Just put another 2/10 on there. So he sits still on provisional pole as James J. Pinkster jumps up into second place.
A great lap by Pinkster there, kind of jumped up from fourth to second on his final lap. Tim said it a couple weeks ago in the broadcast when he was in the booth, which was amazing to have. Pretty much saying, it's the first lap is kind of a throwaway lap with this car, so it's all about that second lap. So you'll see some of the quicker times come in for some of the drivers here as they're completing their second lap.
Yeah, 3 minutes ago in qualifying, we're still waiting on 3 drivers to put in a solid lap, but I think we've had 2 drivers actually crash out in their qualifying lap going for a faster time or go off. And there are some new names that we see here. Gio Cortez, I believe it's our first time seeing him on the Formula 3.5 broadcast streams.
Yeah, a couple names that we don't see, but there's a lot of familiar names, from last season that we covered, and so it's really cool to see some new names and give them an opportunity to showcase what they can do in this top split.
Yeah, I'm going to read through some of these names that I haven't seen before. Emil Bernstoff, I believe we've seen him once. Daniel Bergson, we've seen him a few times. He makes a return. And yeah, those are the only two. Those are the only 3 guys that I haven't seen a lot, and the rest of them, pretty much everyone has seen more than 5 times here on this series.
Yeah, you get to see some names: the Paul Ilbrinks, the Longas, Pinkster, the Tim Delisles, Edward Samborski, Augusto. I mean, we have some really good, really good
Usual
drivers here.
suspects.
I mean, this SOF, I tell you what, it's gonna be super high again.
Yeah, speaking of the SOF, let's bring up the SOF on our screens right now. Or try to calculate in my head, but it's usually like in the 5,000, 6,000 range.
Yeah, I
It's the
think.
highest SOF in the all of iRacing, usually.
Yeah, I think the average last season was around the 4,500 range because there were a couple races that some of the top drivers didn't do because of the track choice. So I think the average is around the 4,500. Don't quote me on it though.
I think it was the 5,000 range, but I
Yeah.
know with last season, we went to a lot of tracks that weren't very traditional for Formula 3.5. So I wouldn't be surprised with the lower numbers. So yeah.
Still a very highly skilled split. Nothing, nowhere near the
Yeah, no,
split I would be in.
nothing to cough at. It is the iRacing that the I rating that these guys have is just another world with Tim Delisle sitting up there number one at 8,000, and the number 22 car lowest I rating driver just sitting just under 3,000 IR. So it's a very widespread field, but the level that these guys race at is just insane.
Yeah, and the camaraderie between all the drivers, whether they're on the same team or they're on a different team, it's all about making the series, a little bit better, and getting, people getting to showcase their talents with some of the top SOF that you're gonna ever see.
Apparently, someone just got disqualified, but we'll see what that is all about. But here is our starting grid to start off Season 3 in Avery. I'm going to let you do the honors.
Well, no surprise here. Tim Delisle going to bring it up on the pole. His teammate Jose Longa second, James J. Pinkster third, Gio Cortez in fourth. Haven't seen him in a while. Edward Samborski rounding out the top five. Exposito in sixth. Fabio DeCarmo seventh. Omar Baja eighth. Augusto ninth. Paul Ilbrink with the Radicals online 10th. Emil Bernstoff in 11th. Max Markin in that 12th position. Pretty good time for him. Cedric Bill 13th. Daniel Berenson 14th. We got Dan Jiang 15th. Josh Stewart 16th. Nicholas Bradford 17th. Followed by Russell, Byrne, Mark, Antonio Navarro, and James Mallow rounding out the field. Austin, we got a stacked field. Great track. 20 laps. I'm ready. The drivers are getting ready to get on the grid.
The field is stacked and the chat is bumping right now. Shout out to everyone watching us live here on Apex Racing TV on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere else we are live on right now. I know we used to do stuff on Twitch, but we don't go there anymore. Still wish we did. But it is a absolutely exciting time. It's the start of Season 3 here, and I can just say, I can't wait to say it, and the hearts are pounding and the revs are rising because the 5 red lights are coming on, and we're going racing for the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here at Interlagos. It's a great start from Delisle and Longa. Pinkster jumps up into third place in that all matte black car. And we got a few cars going way off track right there in the Senna S. You just see that midfield battle. Everyone's fanning out and going wide is Longa. Pinkster, he's got Cortez on his back end, but Esposito Samborski, they're swapping around a few spots already, but no real tragedies for anyone. And as soon as I say that, Bernstoff and Markin and Augusto, cars are going wide and off the track.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the track here. A lot of places for an off track. Delisle and Longa already have 1X in the beginning of the race from going wide. So you have to be very cautious about the off track.
Yeah, definitely need to be on your toes here. Lap 1 is very tricky, as always, and then throughout the race it becomes more of a rhythm track than a focus on everyone else track, because just focusing on overtakes is very hard here, especially with all the medium low speed corners. Then the I forgot what the words just escaped my mouth.
Yeah, words are hard, but like we see a good battle. We have a good battle for the lead, good battle for third. Battles throughout the field as we complete the first lap here at Interlagos. And no surprise here, Delisle and Longa out front. They're battling, going for the pass. But
got Longa look down to the inside of turn 3, but Tim has to speed around the outside. Also side-by-side battle for the 7th is Ilbrink and Baja. They're going side. Paul Ilbrink snuck it up the inside. Baja looking around the outside, now switching back to the inside as they head into the tricky and technical part of the circuit. And this is when the track temperature is going to come to play, because you got to keep these cars and wheels and tire temperatures balanced before they just fall off an absolute cliff. And they were sitting at 41 degrees Celsius right now, and that is just turning these tires into absolute just mush.
You know, like Delisle told us a couple weeks ago that, oh, we got an off track there.
That's Samborski.
Yeah, Samborski.
There's Samborski getting onto the curb, hard onto the brake, and it's just too much gas. I think he may have touched the grass on exit, but I'm not. I think it was just a little bit too much mustard.
Yeah, you got to be careful with how much mustard you apply to the pedal, and definitely for the off track, because you know, hitting the curbs, that's going to get that car to get a little bit unsettled and cause a spin.
Yeah, if you hit the curb, that's lower contact patch with the tires, and if you just have a little bit too much oomph in them, you're just going to spin out those tires. And oh, we see a move right now. That's the Camaro and Bill. Bill looked around the outside. He had to check up, and the Camaro just sniped it away. Great move by Cedric Bill on Camaro. And Camaro, is his home track. The Brazilian currently sitting in 9th right now. Was sitting in 10th, and he's got a great car to look at.
Oh, just an absolute beautiful car. Pretty much almost every car in this field, they're always looking real beautiful, and that's something I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, we got those great team paints that most of these guys run. I know the DFR cars are just something I always love to look at, but I'm a fan of shiny stuff. Tell you how simple I am. But we also got some real-life liveries that get run in here. I remember a Formula 2 livery was being ran here a lot, as well as some fantasy liveries. As looking up the inside, Cedric Bill taking no prisoners into the Senna S, and he is the new leader of this 4-car group in the battle for 7th. Bill, Baja, Camaro, and Stewart.
Yeah, good battle here. Looks to see if he's gonna make another power move.
Yeah, Camaro looking up to the inside now on Omar Baja. And Camaro making it look very nice and easy with that inside move. But now Baja, the American, looking down to the inside, but unfortunately doesn't have the speed or the car placement to challenge for that, as it's Camaro sitting in 8th place.
Yeah, I mean, back up to Exposito trying to pull away from Paul Ilbrink. Ilbrink had a not a very good qualifying session, but he's really worked his way up. He's up 4 spots and going to try to make it up to 5 spots to get in the top 5. Ilbrink is on a move.
We usually see this with Paul Ilbrink. He sometimes doesn't have a good qualifying, but he loves playing the long game as he activates DRS right now. Let's ride on board with number 2, Paul Ilbrink, coming down the straight and around the outside, side by side with Exposito. He nails it into the apex and takes 5th very easily. Paul Ilbrink, 5th place, and I think we're going to start seeing Ilbrink charge up the field now.
Yeah, he's definitely put on a charge. Positive 5 spots, not the biggest mover of the race. Another thing to add, Tim Delisle just putting down the fastest lap of the session, 2/10 quicker
What's
than
new?
Longa. I know, it happens all the time. Shouldn't be surprised.
I'm not surprised of anything. If Tim Delisle and number 1's next to the name and fastest, that is just written in the book. Yes. He's still surprising me to this day. I shouldn't be surprised by it, but I'm still surprised just because he just ups his game every time.
Totally. Big lockup you saw with Josh Stewart, the downforce racing car, as he's trying to catch up to Emil in the 9th position. So he's really trying hard, but you know, like we kind of said earlier, you have to be careful with these tires and this hot temperature of a car. We're looking at James J. Pinkster in the nice paint scheme.
It's a very matte black paint scheme. We might have to talk to him about that, as I think he went a little bit off track, but they are falling away from Longa and Delisle.
And you look at the back of there as Paul Ilbrink. He's on a charge.
So behind them, the battle between Bill and DeCamaro are still going on with each other. Oh, Carmo, not Camaro.
Yeah. The one thing that these drivers are, are doing, like the people like Delisle, Longa, and Ilbrink, they try to hold on to that DRS to the last point they can. So, we'll see if some of the people, the strategy got another hard lockup. It looks like that was, might have been Giang. I'm not 100% sure. But these drivers, the tires are starting to wear with this hot temperature.
And with the locking up going to one of the slowest corners of the entire circuit, and it's just putting pressure and a lot of wear onto these tires as Longa puts in the fastest lap now behind Delisle. As Beerson and Navarro going side by side, and Berenson up into 14th now, and they're closing in on Baja.
A lot of fast laps. Everybody's running very quick. I mean, you have the top three, all within a couple tenths, and then kind of the middle of the pack all running right around the same lap time. So very competitive, and we're only 7 laps in.
7 laps in. These guys are going absolutely blazing fast and keeping it very clean. We did have a few incidents at the start. Augusto, Bradford, Samborski, and Theodore Burns. Jamie Burns, not Theodore. I'm sorry. I'm getting people confused again. But Jamie Byrne is lapped down. Samborski, Bradford, and Augusto are just out of this race right now. But they all got in one full lap.
Yeah, and you always want to try to get to that halfway point to get the that participation points. Another quick time for Longa. I mean, this is, we see this every week, and I don't know why I always think I'm surprised, but heck, when Tim Delisle was in the booth with us a couple weeks ago, I thought he was going to still run the quick time. That's how fast he is.
That's why I thought it was familiar. I'm sorry if my outburst just came on there, but Erica Lindstrom is pointing me out that the reason why I keep messing up Carmo's name, Carmo's name, and saying Camaro, and I think I said Camaro at one time, is he's running in Sete Camaro's livery in the F2 car, so that's why that popped out there.
Back up to Delisle. This battle is getting tight. I wonder if he had a slowdown.
Longa looking around the outside. Longa has DRS, and new leader of the race, Jose Longa. Spaniard taking first from Tim Delisle in this positive sim racing 1-2.
Did you see that lap time he just ran? Oh my.
Wow.
I mean,
1:21.1, and well defended from Longa from the charging Delisle, but Delisle had the exit through the double turn, and now it's Longa, Delisle, still side by side they go, and Longa holds off Tim Delisle, but going into the break zone, Delisle's got the inside line, Longa's held him off.
They got a slow car could get in the way.
I believe that is Jamie Byrne in front of him. No, it's Shane Russell. We look back at Fabio and Cedric in this battle for 7th. These two guys always close with each other.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers are, I mean, familiar with the field, but you usually race in this field, most time against the same 2 to 3 drivers. So you get to really know their driving habits, which makes sim racing kind of a little more fun when you really get to see those names every race.
So we're looking at the battle for 7th. We also have the lap times coming up, and something I just noticed: Tim Delisle and Jose Longa just put up identical lap times as Tim retakes the lead here. But Bill and the Camaro, here's the pass for the lead from Tim Delisle, sitting in the draft, not activating DRS. It's just a drag race across the line, and I think they tied across the line, but Delisle had the speed going into turn 1, swung it around the outside, and well executed right there.
I think we just saw it the lap before, just flip-flop.
Well, Jose had to use DRS to get past
Yeah.
Tim.
That just goes to show the level of these drivers that, Delisle was able to make that pass without the DRS. He's going to try to hold on to those to the last moment, like he stated to us before. But no surprise that you see Delisle and Longa up front. But, we usually don't see this kind of battle throughout the race. Usually it's kind of follow the leader. But, they've been trying to make these overtakes, which is making this really fun to watch.
Yeah, they're teammates, but they still battle it out like they are rivals, friendly rivals. So getting good old Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton vibes from these guys. Outside of that one Spain race.
Ilbrink up in 5th, trying to catch up. The 4th and 3rd. He's kind of, plateaued off, but this battle for 3rd for the final podium spot, I mean, this is really, really good. I got the beautiful paint scheme by James J. Pinkster, the super custom car, up in 3rd, running really good times.
And we also got Gio Cortez, newcomer to the series, and a very nice STV car. And I just gotta say, we need more purple on the grid. That car just stands out. It's actually got a nice gradient effect from there, and I could just look at that car for a while.
Well, we'll make sure we get you a nice screenshot of that one to maybe put on your background. I like lime green.
Oh, you're a Samborski guy.
Oh, Samborski's car is amazing.
Unfortunately,
I mean, a lot of these are, but
unfortunately, he's out of the race. As we see Camaro Carmo getting a lot of speed on Bill. You got me there. I'm gonna just have a counter now. How many times I'll mess it up? But Fabio to Carmo, the Brazilian, back into 7th in his home race. One of 2 Brazilians, the other one being Augusto, who unfortunately is out. Fabio defending down to the inside. Bill got up beside him, but just nothing he could do going into the corner as Fabio leading out this battle for 7th for another corner. And I think he's going to try to start pulling away now, but he's got to break that draft up.
Yeah, the toe is so strong when you're obviously that close, and trying to pull away makes it so much more difficult because, they could be using the DRS behind him. And, Carmo's been running some really strong laps, so he's pretty much just got to put the head down, try to click up some a little bit quicker laps and start to pull away from Cedric. What a strong run for Exposito. I mean, Ilbrink's one of the best of the best. And after Ilbrink made that pass, Exposito is still, within striking distance of the top 5. And, like I said earlier, Ilbrink's usually used to running in the top, but he had kind of a poor qualifying effort. But he's really putting on a good drive through the field. But he's kind of just tapered off a little bit.
And we got a battle for 11th right now. They just swapped places. Bernstein and Bernstorff. Don't get confused by those two names. And it looks like Emil behind him has actually ran into some troubles because he is way off the pace and he's dropping down the field. What is happening to Bernstorff? Oh, he's missing an entire front of his car.
Yeah, you really need the front end of these cars. You're losing a lot of downforce without having the front wing.
Let's take a look at what happened to Emil coming out of the Senna S. And oh, snap oversteered, a little bit of correction, and it just caught the car and it went straight into the wall. And that's one of the hardest impacts I've seen on iRacing.
Yeah, that's a 4X.
I think he hit the wall so hard that was an 8X.
Yeah, real unfortunate for him, but that was a hard hit. That's when we go, thankfully, this is sim racing. You know what? He is still, cruising around a pit road, so, he hasn't given up yet.
Just want to say thank you to Mark, who is hopping in for Frederick right now. Frederick, our usual broadcaster, is unfortunately not with us this week as he is getting some medical stuff fixed up right now. But thank you, Mark, for hopping in, and we hope, Frederick, you're doing well, and we hope to see you back next week.
Absolutely. This little community we have at Apex Racing TV, whether you're commentator, broadcaster, or you're a viewer, it's a real good community. I mean, really high quality broadcast as you're watching at the moment. Real nice tight knit group. It's a real honor to be a part of.
About 25 broadcaster, commentators, admins here. 25 of us, and lots of craziness happens around here. Speaking of craziness, Cortez swinging around the outside, a little bit off track, but James J. Piecer holding him off down to the inside. Cortez, Piecer, side by side. Let's go racing here for Formula 3.5, and Gio Cortez jumps up into third with a wonderful move.
Yeah, it was a real power move by Cortez to move up into the third position as we are looking from above at this battle for third, the final podium spot. A little bit of a wheel spin for Pinkster exiting the corner.
Yeah, Pinkster was caught out by that move, but it was a wonderful battle between those two for 3 straight corners, side by side on the limit, but Interlagos just favors that one line. But now James, he's going to be in that draft, and he's going to still be able to catch up to Cortez and use him to that advantage. So I think James now is just going to be looking after his tires, because the tire wear is going to become a big problem with 11 laps to go on this extremely hot track.
Yeah, the drivers, the lap times are starting to get a little bit slower. For instance, Delisle and Longa, about the last couple laps have been about 0.3 of a second slower than their quickest time. So the tires are starting to wear off. That means you're going to have to be a little bit careful when you're putting the mustard to the gas pedal.
Yeah, and when you're putting the mustard into the gas pedal, hopefully you don't have any unfortunate relish with the marbles on the track.
Yeah, you'd hate to relish that.
And now that we're talking about food, I'm getting hungry.
I thought he was getting hungry. That's Longa. He's getting hungry to get back up to the front, and he's putting on some good laps there. I mean, a little bit quicker last time than Delisle, but just about 1/10 of a second. Still in the toe. Probably hanging on to those DRSs, because you can get around Delisle. But I'll tell you what, he'll be coming right back around soon, or be right on your tail.
Yeah, the strategy that we were talking about all last season was, when was using the DRS the best idea? Was it in the battle and the moment at the start of the race when you can just power through everyone and just hopefully you can get it going, or was it at the end of the race and just saving it for the last 8 laps and last 8 jumps out to it? As we're looking at Max Markin right now, I don't know if that was you or me, but it looks like his DRS was stuck open. And James Peacer, his DRS is definitely wide open because you can't even see through the wing. If you're new to the Formula 3.5, if you can't see through the wing, he's got DRS open. If you can see through it, that little small slit at the bottom of the wing, he's got DRS unactivated. DRS acts like it just does in real life, but here on iRacing, they make it very hard for us, and you have to get the binoculars out sometimes. But
I got my magnifying glass.
Pinks are back into third.
That was a nice pass by Pinkster to get back onto the podium spot. But like you said, sometimes I got to bring out that magnifying glass to really see if they got the DRS activated. And I'm not joking either. It's a little magnifying glass.
Yeah, it's a very fine line. And some liveries they help with it a lot, and some they don't help at all. And with James in that matte black car, it looks just fine. And let's take a look at the positive sim racing guys. Are going up against each other again. Longa swinging around the outside. DRS not in use as they go side by side into turn 1. Well defended by Tim Delisle, holding off the charging Longa. And wow, they're still going side by side at each other right now. We're in for a extremely exciting last 10 laps here.
And that's the nice thing about this positive sim racing group is, yes, they're teammates, and obviously don't want to take each other out, but that's not going to stop them from racing each other for the, for the lead. I mean that, sometimes you're going to see in teams where they just kind of, we're just going to cruise, feeling good first and second, but not with this group. They're all about just trying to win. Longa wants to win just as much as Delisle does, even if it's a little aggressive sometimes. But they are teammates, but they're going to race each other tough, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah, and with Longa and Delisle just going at each other right now, and still within 2 tenths and just on his bumper, I think we're going to be in store for a fantastic 13-week season between Delisle and Longa, and hopefully we get a third act in there. But hey, the season is already shaping up to be a wonderful one.
Big lockup by Navarro a couple corners ago as he's trying to catch up to Max Markin. But like you said, Cortez overtakes Pinkster there to get up into third. Those cars are just battling just like the top 2 are. I mean, nobody wants to get past.
No, I think everyone wants to get past each other. It's just no one can really break away, since the draft in these cars is just absolutely insane as Cortez lunges down the inside. Had a great run in the draft, and James just let it happen. Didn't really defend much on it right there. I think he knows how much of the race is left. We're halfway through the race, 10 laps to go. Well, more than halfway through the race. I'm extremely bad at math right now, but we're in the closing stages of the race, but it's still 8 laps to go here, and we're going to have a great show in store. James not using any DRS. He knows he can stay with him outside of DRS, and here a little bit of lift and coasting from Cortez. So I think Cortez doesn't want to be ahead of James and wants that draft at the end of the race, as James looking down to the inside as they went side by side through 2-1, but new third place. It's back to James J. Pinkster. And James not letting it happen even more, going all the way down to the inside, swinging back to the outside to defend and break that draft from the charging Gio Cortez. He goes way wide off the track.
And we were talking about tire wear, but the last lap, Delisle put down his quickest sector 2 of the race.
Well, that's Tim Delisle being Tim Delisle, man. Once you start doubting, oh, he's losing some pace, the tire's probably going off, he sets the fastest lap. You don't question it. It just Tim DeLisle does what Tim DeLisle do, and that's
Just
Tim DeLisle.
happens. It
Yeah,
just
that was
happens.
yeah, exactly. But Longa, he's fallen off the pace a lot. He's dropped down to 8/10 behind DeLisle. It's a second now. What's happened to Longa? I think Longa's off the track. Longa is... This is perplexing. He might have got a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, he might have. I mean, you know, you don't really lose that much without getting a slowdown. Wow. I mean, Longa doesn't make those kind of mistakes usually.
Yeah, I don't see any damage on the car, but it's very hard to get damage on this circuit without this, well, you know, hitting a wall, and the walls
Without
here are
junking it?
very far out. Yeah. Pulling me at Mid-Ohio. But yeah, I don't really see, the only reasonable explanation I have is him getting a slowdown penalty.
The other thing is different battle, but Pinkster is pulled away by just over a second on Cortez, and then Ilbrink and Exposito are, I mean, really, they're still bad. I mean, really impressive run for Exposito. I mean, Ilbrink's one of the fastest you're gonna ever see, and he's just staying with them.
Yeah, Exposito's in that draft, staying with one of the biggest names here in Formula 3.5, Paul Ilbrink. And I guess it was a slowdown last lap as Longa and DeLisle set identical lap times to each other.
We got a three-way battle. This battle is for the 12th position, and it goes Marquez, Baja, Navarro with 22 laps of 22 of 27 laps, and I mean, these drivers are all in striking distance. We'll see how many of them have DRS still left. I'm sure some of them have saved a little bit for the end of the race.
DRS, you don't really need it because you just see how much you can already get from the slipstream. Baja swinging around the outside of Marquez and retakes 12th. And oh no, around goes Baja. Marquez gets collected and Navarro getting collected, and now taking 12th place is James Malo. Unfortunate for all three drivers. Baja, clean overtake around the outside, a little bit slippery onto the apex, gets collected right there, and oh no. Oh.
You hate to see it. I mean, that battle was gonna be fire, but you know, sometimes a little carnage is gonna happen. Definitely in this turn one, you have that high speed of straightaway, and you go into real tight braking zone. Those incidents, you know, like we just saw, do happen.
I was really looking forward to seeing that battle go all the way to the end, but because you rarely see any incidents here later on in the race in the Formula 3.5 series, but that is just unfortunate. Well, when I say incidents, I mean normal incidents where it's a car-on-car incident and not, you know, a lap car sitting sideways after spinning out in Detroit incident.
I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, you missed out on that. But tire wear is in jeopardy right now, and the field is spread out. The leaders are spread out as well, as it's the start of Season 3, 13 weeks for the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship. DeLisle, Longa, Pinkster, your top three.
Yeah, the top four drivers are in the positions that they started.
Oh, big loss of control for Daniel right there. Gone into the grass in the braking zone. And that just shows you how little grip these cars have. Once they just get a little bit off of what they're comfortable to, they'll just start sliding. You have to coax the car to slow down, regain its regaining stride, then you're getting back going. But unfortunately, that battle for 10th that we were watching is ended as Paul Ilbrink now still getting charged down by Jose Exposito.
Yeah, and once you get that slide, Austin, that's when that's when the tire starts to go away, the tire starts to become junk. So you have to be so cautious with the tires, definitely with this high heat.
Yeah, I think we're sitting at 42 Celsius right now, so the track temperature is actually getting hot. I am not going to comment on me accidentally changing channels on myself.
Yeah, you really hate to hear it.
I went to go check the temperatures for myself right now, and well, actually the track temperature is cooling down. And by clicking on the iRacing window, I accidentally switched it to a different channel.
Track temp's cooling down, but the battle for 5th is heating up. Ilbrink held off Exposito as he went for the attempt there. But 25 of 27 laps, get ready for some aggressive moves.
Yeah, Ilbrink and Esposito, well, these guys are going at it with each other. The elbows are getting out. Ilbrink well defended through the Senna S, but Exposito, he's a charger. The Kuruma driver knows how to put a few moves onto the table and get those spots right now. But Jose hasn't really moved anywhere. He started in 6th, still sitting in 6th, but the man he's fighting, Paul Ilbrink, he's up 5 spots from where he started.
Yeah, Ilbrink put on a real good charge, for the beginning of the race, and just kind of tapered off. And I'm a little shocked by that, but this might not be one of the tracks that he's better at, but still a great charge for him moving up from 10th to 5th.
And now with 2 laps to go, Exposito, he is on the gearbox right now. He can use DRS at least 2-3 more times if he has the charges left in him. Looking around the outside into the braking zone, not side by side with Paul Ilbrink, but he's making Paul take that defensive line, holding down to the inside now. And he's got a great charge coming down the side straight after the Senna S. And here comes charging Jose Lopez Exposito for 5th place, side by side with Paul Ilbrink, heading into turn 3 and 4. That double left-hander, they're still side by side, and Jorge has to get pushed off the track as Paul Ilbrink defends that just masterfully down into 5th.
Yeah, you got to be careful there for the off track. It's a very easy spot, as we just saw with Exposito trying to make a pass on Ilbrink. Let's take a look at the replay.
It's just a beautiful overtake as we are watching live, as we see Jorge going down to the inside. Neither of the drivers using DRS. And this is a very DRS heavy zone that they're in. And oh, is there a little bit of contact right there?
Yeah, it looked like we had a little contact between the two. White flag though for Delisle.
White flag. 1 lap to go here to start off season 3 and this leap year, air quotes, of a season with 13 tracks on the schedule. Exposito not up beside Ilbrink this time, and now they're playing a little bit of a game on the straight. Exposito not following Paul Ilbrink's draft, so I think he's waiting for that final move and going to use his last little biff of DRS. He's actually using his DRS right now as they're coming up on a lapped car.
Yeah, I believe that was Navarro. That was the slow car. It was very close to affecting this battle for 5th. But
yeah, but no one is affecting Tim Delisle right now. DRS is open. Tim Delisle waving to the fans if we have crowds on right now. And Tim Delisle takes week number 1 here in the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship.
Yeah, he's probably doing that fist pump like he said he does after he wins a race. Tim Delisle. And then look at Longa, great run for him. Pinkster, man, great race overall.
Paul Ilbrink holds off for 5th on the charging Jorge Lopez Esposito, who finishes in 6th. Fabio finishes in 7th in front of his home crowd on his home track, followed by Cedric Bill. Well, with week 1 finishing up right now, I'm just going to read through the schedule so y'all at home understand on how exciting I am for this entire Season 3. Just finished our race at Interlagos. Next week, we're going to Barber, followed by Suzuka, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, Circuit de Spa, Francorchamps, Gilles Villeneuve, Okayama, Indianapolis Road, Monza Grand Prix, Road America, Phillip Island, Waukesha Glen Boot, and we're going to finish the season off once again at the ring.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take a look at a stack track for 13 weeks? I mean, for the first ever 13-week season? I mean, this is what we got.
Yeah, the interesting choices for tracks I see here would be the Indianapolis Road configuration, but that is near the end of the season. We're at the start of the season. We just finished week 1, so Avery, I'm going to let you say our race results, not the qualifying results, when they come up.
Well, I tell you what, we had 22 drivers, another 22, the Positive Sim Racing. Tim Delisle takes home the win and the championship lead. Jose Longa second, James J. Pinkster with that hard battle with Cortez, who ended up 4th. Paul Ilbrink 5th, Jorge Exposito 6th, Fabio DeCarmo in 7th, Cedric Bill, Mark 9th, Josh Stewart, Daniel Berenson 11th, James Malo 12th, Dan Gang in 13th, Max Mark and Shane Russell, Jamie Byrne, Antonio Navarro, the newcomer, runs a nice strong 17. Omar Baja, the American, Emil Bernstorff in 19th. Edward Samborski, Nicholas Bradford, and the Brazilian Ronaldo Augusto. Unfortunately, rounds out the end of the field. 22 drivers. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of the names next week, Austin. This is week 1. We got 13 more races, or 12 more races, excuse me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too for the next 12 weeks. Y'all are in for a definite show. And let's talk to the current championship leader and defending champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tim Delisle.
Sup.
Just sup. Guy wins the race. Sup.
Yeah, try to make it sound casual, but it was anything but.
It certainly was not a casual start, as you and your teammate were just battling throughout the entire race. And then you just left him in the dust after a what I assumed was a penalty. Not sure when he got that penalty, but y'all two were in control of this race from start to finish.
Yeah, had a good start. My goal was, I knew Jose would be with me the whole race. I was hoping we could kind of break away from the pack a little bit, and luckily we were able to do that. It looked like Gio and James were having a battle behind as well. So yeah, we were able to pull a bit of a gap to them and then have some fun. And yeah, it's always really respectful between the two of us. Great racing, and I think what actually happened to him at the exit of probably butcher this, but Jun Sao, the final real corner, that outside curb, if you take too much of the curb, it bottoms out the car really hard and you lose a ton of speed. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened to him, but looks like he'll be doing an interview as well, so you can check that with him. But from there, it was just about keeping my head down and yeah, getting it to the flag.
Well, you certainly went flag to flag in this race and starting off this 13-week season nicely. Have you had a chance to look at the schedule? What tracks are you looking forward to?
The usual, the big ones, Suzuka, Spa, Monza. Monza will be interesting with the current state of the the car where high downforce is going to be quicker in qualifying trim and then medium downforce for the race. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And yeah, it's a really good schedule. I'm looking forward to the season.
All right, thank you, Tim. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Good team, Positive Sim Racing. Jose, great job in P2, and I'm pretty frustrated. I was going for the fastest lap at the end, but it looks like he got it earlier in the race by 17 thousandths. So yeah, well done to him, and thanks to you guys for the coverage.
All right, thank you, Tim. You have a great rest of your day ahead of you in Australia, and hopefully we see you back up top and well, just back again next week.
Thanks. I'll be at Le Mans next week, but yeah, from then on, I'm back.
All right. Well, good luck at the 24-hour, man. And Avery, I believe you're standing by with Jose.
Hey, Jose, this is Avery. Do you have a copy? Jose. Looks like we have little audio issues with Jose. We'll see if we can get James Pinkster. Hey, James, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, congratulations on the final podium spot. I tell you what, you and Gio had a fantastic battle. What was the difference between you and him to take over the final podium spot?
Well, first, thank you. Thanks for the stream and thanks for the appreciation. This is my third ever podium in like 3 or 4 seasons of doing this, so yeah, it does feel really nice. Gio, I haven't seen him before in one of these races, but yeah, he put up a really good fight. He was very aggressive. He was willing to go for a move in like any corner. He went for some moves into turn 6, which is definitely not a normal overtaking corner. I think I had more pace than him, particularly at the end. I think his tires burnt out quite quickly, but yeah, it was a fun battle, and I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, Austin and I were talking about that, how he's kind of a new name to the series. We haven't really seen him before, but a nice, strong third place finish for week 1 of a 13-week battle here at the Formula 3.5 series. We got a really heavy schedule. Are you looking forward to next week?
Next week is Barber, I think.
Yeah, Barber.
Which coincides with the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So I doubt that many people will be doing that. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of the races that are on the schedule, like going back to Suzuka, but this is a really packed schedule. My question for you is, with this 13-week schedule, are you gonna kind of change how you do things, or just gonna keep doing what the normal James J. Pinkster run really well?
Well, yeah, 13-week and having 9 races that count, you still only get 4 drop weeks, is definitely adds longevity and endurance to the season. But yeah, I'm just looking forward. I'm gonna do most of the races. I'm probably gonna miss Barber, maybe Phillip Island, maybe some tracks that I'm not so favourable for. But I should be doing most of the season. It looks like a pretty fun calendar, particularly races 3 to 6. That all looks like really good fun. So yeah, I just look forward to the future. Hopefully, can bag a few more podiums.
Yeah, it's great to watch you race. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Apex Racing TV for providing the broadcast. I think that's about
it. James, this is Austin. I really have this question because I was wondering about it. You're running a different paint scheme than you normally do with that matte black. What's it about?
Yeah, well, essentially, I don't have a team anymore, so I don't know. I just run black. I think it looks kind of cool with my lime green helmet. I think it looks.
The helmet.
Yeah, I'll be sticking with that. Whatever happens, I really like the color.
Well, you certainly got a resume on you, and I'm pretty sure that car will not be blank by next week. So hopefully some team managers are looking at you right now, but congrats on podium.
Okay, thanks, mate. Redemption for last season. Do you remember? When I spun on the last lap from P3 at this track? So yeah.
Well, you got P3 this time, so congrats on that. All right, and I believe we have Jose with us right now. Jose?
Hello. I'm sorry. Before I
Hey,
go. Oh,
Well-
yeah. Well, I'm not very happy with the race, but I'm happy because it's very fun. But I had a mistake in the last corner in the entry. I am very near to lose the car and make a trompo in Spanish. I don't know is the name in English. And yeah, it was amazing battle with Tim. I have, I think, a little bit more pace in this laps when I am when I am very close. I waiting to the last laps because I know Gio. You were speaking about him. He's an amazing driver from Spain. I don't know he's from Spain, but he speaks Spanish. And I look in both. I'm looking for fight with Tim and try to overtake, but I think it's very difficult to go. And I seen the difference with James and Gio. And when I fight, he comes 1 second ahead. Then I think, oh, okay, we can fight later. And when we have 5-6 seconds, I think is the moment. But I make the mistake in the worst moment. And then when I try to catch him, I think, oh, the lappets can help me. And nope, the lappets no help me. I finished at 4 seconds, but it's okay. I think it was a great race, and I'm very happy with the win of my teammate team.
Well, glad you had a great race, man. 13 weeks in the schedule after race one. You look forward to any track that you aren't looking forward to? Because when I was looking at the schedule, it was just an absolute powerhouse of circuits lined up for these next 12 weeks.
Well, I've seen, and I think like James for the next week, many people keep a drop because we have the 24 hours. Then I see Suzuka. I'm feeling very well. Then I don't remember, but I think we have 5 or 6 really very good tracks for me for my pace. No, I'm pretty sure the championship we're fighting until the end. I'm sure.
All right. Thank you, Jose. Before we let you go, anyone want to thank?
No, only congratulations to the podium, to the James, and welcome to Gio to this series. He's an amazing guy.
All right. Thank you, man. And hopefully we see you up there giving Tim that challenge for the top of the championship throughout the rest of the season. And good luck in next week.
Thanks very much. Thank you to you too for the amazing broadcast.
All right, Avi, any closing words for you?
We had a fantastic race, week 1 of 13 weeks, and it's not a surprise. We always have great racing in this Formula 3.5 series. And if you're tuning in now for the first time, every Saturday here in the U.S. at this time, you're going to see this race for the next 12 more weeks of some of the best drivers on iRacing. And make sure you click that little notification deal so you get a notification when our Apex races are being broadcasted, because you're not going to want to miss out on this the next 12 weeks, Austin.
It certainly is going to be a action-packed rest of the season for everyone here at Apex Racing TV. We thank y'all for tuning in on chat here on YouTube and on Facebook and anywhere else this race is broadcasted. If you're watching from one of the racer's Twitch channels, come over here. We'll give you we'll give y'all more support as well. And thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Mark Tranter for the production and filling in for Frederick. Hopefully he will be back next time. Thank you Avery for joining me. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.